Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you're watching or listening. My name is Caleb Glick. I'm a lawyer here in the great state of Texas with the Calhoun School of Law to bring you a lot of information plenty of bad folks would rather you not have. Today we're going to be providing another installation into our U.S. Constitutional Amendment series going on number 24. So if you haven't gone back and watched 1 through 23, I would encourage you to do so because I'm sure it goes without saying. Understanding the U.S. Constitution in its totality, all 7 articles, all 17 of the amendments, all 10 of the Bill of Rights, very crucial, very important whenever you go to defend yourself against any sort of lawfare attacks that might be waged against you, your family, or your property. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on over to Amendment 24 to the U.S. Constitution. It says, passed by Congress August 27th, 1962, ratified January 23rd, 1964. Section 1. The right of citizens of the United States to vote in any primary or other election for president or vice president, for electors for president or vice president, or for senator or representative in Congress shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state by reason of failure to pay poll tax or other tax. Section 2, the Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. So even though it's not necessarily impacting you individually on a day-by-day basis, it's very important to know this because it was yet another step in subverting the state sovereignty and subverting the state's authority in determining how their elections were going to be handled and how exactly the citizens of the states can participate in elections. It was a reframing, another restructuring of the entire point of the Union, the entire point of the Confederation. So while it's maybe not necessarily crucial to have this at the forefront of your mind and your prefrontal cortex 24/7, it is beneficial to know, according to the context, the new understanding of the union to state relationship. It is no longer the union exists to benefit the states exclusively, which is what the founders overtly said was the purpose of the Union, of the U.S. Constitution, of the Articles of the Confederation. It is in fact opposite. It is now flipped on its head. In fact, the states exist to serve the Union. Amendment 24 is another example of that. So let's go ahead and read through it again. This is going to be a very short lecture because, like I was explaining earlier, this one doesn't necessarily pertain to the individual citizen on a day-by-day basis. It's just good context to understand when going to argue, defend, or even combat any sort of lawfare attacks that might be waged against you, your family, or your property. So let's read it again and then go ahead and wrap it up in a very, very, very short lecture. So Amendment 24, passed by Congress 1962, ratified in 64, says, Section 1, the right of citizens of the United States to vote in any primary or other election for president or vice president, for electors for president or vice president, or for senator or representative in Congress, shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state by reason of failure to pay poll tax or other tax. Section 2 says the Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Excellent. So if you have any questions about Amendment 24 and what it says, or if you have any questions about the preceding amendments, any topic that we've covered in these series or in these lectures, go ahead and post them in the comments, as well as there's a topic you'd like me to cover in a future lecture. Go ahead and post those in the comments because the entire purpose of the Calhoun School of Law is to equip you with the necessary skills and knowledge to fend against whatever lawfare attacks will be waged against you, your family, or your property. So again, if you have any questions at all, please post them in the comments so I can serve that purpose exceptionally rather than insufficiently. Perfect. So my name is Caleb Glick. I'm a lawyer here in the great state of Texas with the Calhoun School of Law to bring you a lot of information that plenty of bad folks would rather you not have. I'm not sure what the topic for the next lecture is going to be, but I'll do my best to make it as informative and entertaining as this one, if not more so, again, to serve that ultimate purpose the best I can. I hope you'll have a wonderful day, and regardless of the topic of the next lecture, until I see you, I bid you all farewell.